Okay, I'm just going to share my screen right now and then I'll be right on.
Okay.
I think everybody should hopefully be able to see that now.
Yeah.
I just have a couple little boxes here I have to close off. There we go. All right. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for having me come today and present for you. So I'm going to start, and I will try to talk, fairly slowly to give most people a chance to be able to translate everything that I'm going to say. And as was mentioned, this is part one of a two-part presentation. So we'll just get started here, and feel free, please, to unmute and ask questions, or if you want, you can put them into the chat box. All right. So I got a little thing here that keeps coming back there. The main cause of climate change is the emissions of greenhouse gas or carbon dioxide into our atmosphere. So Earth has experienced climate change in the past, but our current problem is CO2 levels are rising very rapidly as well as our global temperature. This is in large part because of our continued burning of fossil fuels. As we can see here that, we've known about climate change for quite a few years, since the early 1800s. But now it's slowly and really rapidly starting to increase to the point where it's starting to cause problems for us. Canada, through the Paris Accord Agreement, has agreed to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 40 to 45% below the 2005 levels by 2030, and becoming net zero by 2050. What that means is that, so 1 second, sorry about that. There we go. What that means is that we're going to try to reduce burning of fossil fuels, and by 2050, be building all of our buildings, our residential homes, to meet what's called net zero. What that means is that we're going to have renewable sources of energy that do not use fossil fuels, and that our buildings will produce as much energy as that we would use on a yearly basis, so that we actually are not using any electricity. It's all being created by green sources, solar, wind, different new technologies that we'll have coming out into the future. And this is where the goal is for 2050. So what is promoting energy efficiency in buildings right now? The law. Around the 2015 and the 2020 National Building Code dictates minimum levels of energy efficiency when constructing new or renovating existing buildings. This is what the codes look like. Consumers, like yourselves, are demanding energy efficient, environmentally sustainable, and healthier homes. Energy upgrading save homeowners money, typically will pay for themselves, improve durability and comfort, plus lower greenhouse gas emissions. The goal is that all people can live in energy efficient, environmentally sustainable, healthy homes and communities. let's look at some characteristics of what an energy efficient, environmentally sustainable, healthy home might look like. Homes that have reduced volatile organic compounds, VOCs, by using painting and cleaning products having low VOC content or determined through Green Seal, Ecologo, or Green Guard certification programs. For any products that are considered as green and are made from products that are natural and not chemically based. Use of energy efficient, Energy Star qualified appliances and lighting like LED. And the implementing use of home energy display, providing real-time actual energy consumption or energy saving automation systems. What these devices can do is to help us learn how we use energy in our homes. There's different types of energy monitoring systems, ones that will track costs in real time, allow smart home capability like voice control, mobile apps and notifications for our cell phones that we can use. These devices can help us learn how we use energy and how we can reduce energy in our homes. Use of high efficiency, appropriately sized heating and cooling systems for our homes. Also installing Energy Star qualified windows and doors that meet or exceed its climate zone. Also, reducing hot water system heat losses by reducing the hot water run distances and pipe sizes.
Excuse me, Lauren.
Yes, go ahead.
This is Sheila Scott, one of the teachers here. And I know a lot of this is probably quite complicated because these are English second language students.
Right.
Could you just go back a few slides
Definitely.
and show the pictures of the things that students or anyone can be buying that would save money? So yeah, right about there, right about there. And just kind of explain that a little bit more and just kind of explain, just repeat it maybe a little bit more slowly. And I'm wondering, are the interpreters able to interpret? I'm not sure that they're having enough time to interpret.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. I was wondering if maybe I might be going too fast. At the same time, I didn't want to go too slow either, right?
Yeah, well, just like you need to take a pause so they have time to interpret
Sure.
after each little piece of information. Now that beginning stuff, having said that, the beginning stuff was quite difficult to understand if English is not your first language.
Yep.
But I think definitely we need to focus on how the things that can be of benefit to them to save money and to so if you can just go a little bit more slowly and focus on the key points and maybe give a little bit of time for the interpreters to interpret, that would be great.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Oh, no problems whatsoever. All right. So for this first slide here, what we're looking at is that if you have products like this in your home, it's maybe a good idea if you could remove them. We have redemption centers in this province where all these different chemical products can actually be disposed of safely. We don't want to be breathing these types of chemicals. They're harmful to our bodies. When it comes to buying appliances, there are many appliances that are designed to be energy efficient. Appliances that show this label, the Energy Star label, or the EnerGuide label, should explain to you how much energy this appliance would use. So things like refrigerators, dryers, washing machines, dishwashers, microwaves, and ovens. Changing out your existing older style light bulbs for energy efficient LED light bulbs. And of course, Energy Star, always looking for this Energy Star label on appliances and light. Monitoring systems, let's bring these up, work very well in your homes to help you to reduce energy by learning what appliances in your homes actually produce or use energy when you're not actually using it. Things that you can shut off during the day or at nighttime will help you save energy. Is there any questions about these type of systems that might be out there? Many of these systems, actually, when you purchase them, they may have company representatives or employees that could come out and install these for you. Some of the apps for your phone, if you purchase them from local hardware store, then they can help you load them onto your phone, or they may have instructions that can help you load them and be able to learn how to use them as when you're looking at the appliances and things like that. Heating systems, of course, you want to find the most energy efficient, and as well, look for the Energy Star logos like this on any types of heating systems as well. Energy Star appliances, Energy Star heating systems, and as well, the most energy efficient systems that you can find. Working with companies from local hardware stores can help you with this, and they can help you find the most energy efficient makes and models that may be out there. Okay. If you are replacing windows or doors, try to find Energy Star qualified windows that meet or exceed our climate zone. So when I say climate zone, I mean a window that is designed for very, very cold regions or areas is the type of windows we should be looking for. When it comes to your different things like washing machines, sinks, showers, maybe spare bathrooms, if possible, to have your hot water tank more in the center so that it doesn't take so long for this hot water to get all the way down to the furthest part of your home. Another thing is if you wash your hands, try to use the cold water rather than the hot water. Because what can happen is if you turn on this tap and all this hot water has to run all the way down to the furthest spot, then once you turn off the tap, this water just sits in the line and it's just wasted energy. You can also insulate the lines as best as you can, will help to reduce some of the heat loss. In the winter, this is not too bad because some of the heat energy will help to heat the home. But in the summer, it can cause condensation or water can drip off of the pipes, causing some damage. And as well, the heat from these pipes can cause heating in our home. Using water conserving plumbing fixtures like low flow shower heads and faucets. As you can see, if we were looking at a normal shower head, the flow is around 9.5 liters per minute. And then with a low flow shower head, it's 7.6. And bathroom faucets can be as low as 5.7. What this means is that we're conserving the use of water. So helping to protect our environment by using less water. And as well, by using less water, we also will not have to pay as much for heating it and as well for using it. Save us money. Use of low flow toilets or composting toilets. Also, looking at alternative designs where you could wash your hands and this water would then go inside the tank, then could be used for flushing. So we all agree that upgrading existing homes or designing new homes to be more energy efficient, environmentally sustainable, and healthy is a worthwhile goal. What else can we do to reduce our personal energy usage and our carbon footprint? There are many things that we can do to reduce our energy consumption and carbon footprint. So I think we have, can everybody just check to make sure that their mics are muted? We have a little bit of background noise. Okay. So replacing windows with Energy Star windows for our climate zone or colder. Adding insulation, installing better high performance heating and ventilation systems. But what other things can we do when those energy conservation methods are not within our control? We can look at the energy pyramid and do things like turn off lights and electronics when we're not using them. Unplug appliances or use power bars to be able to shut them down when we're not using them. Have shorter showers and try to conserve water usage as best we can. Then, as we move up onto the pyramid, we can do things like LED lighting. LED lights use less energy than normal light bulbs. Smart grid infrastructure. So learning about how our grid works. Energy efficient, smart appliances. Programmable thermostats. Thermostats are how we can control the heat in our homes. Electric vehicles to the grid. So purchasing electric vehicles into the future rather than using fossil fuel or gas vehicles that use that for fuel. If possible, have a home energy audit done. Or even in the building that you live in, have an energy audit done. This can help the owners or yourself learn different ways to make your building more energy efficient and environmentally friendlier. Then once you've achieved everything here, then we could look at solar photovoltaic or wind energy, things like that. So what are some other things that we can do? Participate in education programs promoting energy conservation. Participate in energy efficiency programs to use less energy and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Shift when we use energy to reduce peak demand in mornings and evenings. Changing our daily behavior can collectively help to smooth out the peaks. I will explain how this works. In the morning, we all get up. We may turn on our coffee pots. We may have showers. We'll cook breakfast. And if everybody in the province does this early in the mornings, it puts a strain on NB Power. And in some cases, they'll have to start up a coal or natural gas power production plant to make up that morning peak of energy that needs to be used. So by reducing as best we can help these peaks. Wind and solar won't help us in the mornings because there's no way to store that energy. But during the daytime, wind and solar can help us during the day because we have the same problem in the evenings when we all come home from work. We all cook supper, wash dishes, have showers. So if we can reduce the use of energy, will help to save NB Power from having to use electricity that's not produced from renewable sources. That way we can stay away from oil or natural gas or propane to be able to produce electricity. There are different things that are available from NB Power that can help to reduce energy usage in the mornings. This product is called EcoLink. Now, I've included a little area here where you can go in and see this product. It is free. It also, there is a little video that you can watch as well. And I provided this slide that you can go in and be able to just click on that and go in and watch this video or see this product. And you can do it at your own leisure whenever you feel you have the time or if you are interested. Okay. If we look at a pie chart, you can see as we build our homes more energy efficient into the future, that occupant behavior, this is how we live in our homes, is the largest part of the energy usage. So not only purchasing energy efficient appliances and products, but it is us as human beings that have to learn how to conserve and to use less. So I have a few more things that we can look at that can help us save energy and reduce our carbon footprint as well. Air sealing of our homes. This is where air is coming into our homes around windows and doors. Using more natural light. What artificial lighting is energy efficient and healthy? Home electronics and phantom power use, and energy efficient appliances. So we're going to look at some of these things in this workshop today. What else, when we're leaving the home, what could I do to also help to conserve energy while I'm away? And when is it time to recycle or donate some of my older products? What we have learned that we lose heat from our homes by natural ventilation or air leakage. And as we can see, cold air can enter our homes, and then it basically pushes our heat energy out of our homes and through our building. As we can see, there are many different places that we can lose heat out of our homes. We know that heat is lost through windows, through doors, up through the chimney, through our vent stacks, and any cracks or holes that we may have in our building envelope. Typically, about 25 to 35% or even higher of heat loss can be due to excess air infiltration and exfiltration or leakage out of our homes. When we feel this cooler air infiltrating into our home, we can seal as many holes and cracks as possible with foam sealants and electronic plug-in gaskets. We can also use these products to help to seal different places in our homes, childproof plugins into any electrical sockets that are not being used at the present time. Many of these products can be purchased from any local hardware store, and they can assist you in how they can be used or installed in your home. And many should also have directions and be able to help you or assist you to be able to implement these different products. Spray foam works well for filling holes or cracks that are fairly large. Gaskets work well for round plug-in covers if you can feel air coming in these areas. Same with then after, using the child-proof plug will help to seal off any plugins that are not currently being used. We can also seal as many holes and cracks as possible with gaskets, window insulator kits, door sweeps, and things like that. So these are like swimming pool noodles and come in all different sizes and shapes. Or if you have an older window, these can be used in order to cover over your window to help slow down some drafts that may be coming through them. Door sweeps can be purchased from your local hardware store. All of these products can be. And this will help to reduce drafts coming in from underneath your doors. However, as we seal our homes, there is less natural air exchange. And at a point, our home may require what we call mechanical ventilation. And we should look to install what is called a heat or energy recovery ventilator, or HRV for heat recovery, or ERV for energy recovery ventilator. You'll be able to tell that once you start to tighten up all of your homes or seal all the holes or drafts from air infiltrating is infiltrating into our homes, and all of our heat energy is exfiltrating out of our homes. And once we start to tighten up all of our homes, all the different leaks, we will need more ventilation or air for us to breathe in order to have a clean breathe or clean air that we can breathe. Otherwise, if we start seeing things like this, condensation on our windows and on our walls, then this is an indication that we may need more mechanical ventilation. What if we start to see things like mold or mildew? These are also signs that we don't have enough mechanical ventilation in our homes. An HRV is what this system looks like. And what it does is it will bring fresh air from outside for us to breathe. And at the same time, it'll exhaust outside, or it'll exhaust this moist air that's causing any of this problem. It will exhaust it outside. But as it's doing this, this heat energy heats up the cool air coming in so that the new fresh air has been warmed up. This is called sensible recovery efficiency. The more efficient the HRV or ERV is, the more energy it will recycle back into our home for us, saving us money and providing fresh, clean air for us to breathe, and also helping to reduce some of this condensation or excess moisture that has been building up in our homes. What we would like to see is a fully balanced and ducted system. What this means is that the system would be exhausting excess moisture from our kitchens, from our bathrooms, and would also be providing fresh air into our bedrooms, our basement, and our living areas. So before I go on any further, does anybody have any questions they would like to ask about the ventilation system or any of the other appliances or anything that I have talked about so far today? All right. So when I talk about humidity in the homes, this is what I talk about. We don't want to have our home too dry, and we don't want to have our homes too wet. As you can see here, that at this time of year, because the air is very, very dry that if you're experiencing things like static electricity, when you touch different things and you get a spark or you get a shock, or if your furniture may be cracking or your floors are starting to separate, things like that, or you're having respiratory irritations, nosebleeds, things like that. These could be indications that the air may be too dry in your home. On the other end, if you have lots of moisture like this on your windows, or if you can see mold or mildew growing, these could be signs that your home is too much moisture. And you can start to see mold, condensation, binding doors. When I talk about binding doors, is where doors and cabinets may not want to open, things like that, because they're filling full of moisture and expanding. You can also have more chances of having microbes, dust mites, things like that. So controlling the moisture levels in our homes is very important. How much humidity do we need in the wintertime? In the wintertime, we're looking around 35 to 45%. It's called relative humidity. And as you can see, if you're experiencing some of the things when it's really, really dry, you may have to add some moisture to your home. Things like showering, washing clothes, cooking food on the stove. These are all things that create moisture in our home. And we don't want to have too much. On the other end, we also don't want to have it to be too dry, because that can also cause problems for us as well. In the summertime, anywhere from maybe 45 to 60%. In the wintertime, it'd be ideal to have around 40%. Otherwise, if it starts to become too high, you'll start to see lots of moisture like this starting to form onto your windows, things like that. This moisture inside your home can cause damage, and it can cause some issues. Will start to cause window frames or anything that's wood product to start to rot. Natural lighting. Humans prefer to work and live in spaces with natural light rather than artificial light, as natural light helps to create a more comfortable and pleasing home. However, our preference for natural light lies deeper and is intimately connected to our brain functions and natural body rhythms, or circadian rhythm, which is our body's 24-hour sleep awake cycle. Countless studies have proven the benefits of daylighting, such as increased productivity in the home and workplace, enhanced educational performance in elementary schools, and improved patient recovery times in hospitals. Studies have shown that being exposed to daylight or only artificial light over the course of several days, people living and working under natural light were significantly more alert, while exposed to artificial lights, participants feel more tired due to lower cortisol levels, leaving them more stressed and reduced energy levels later in the day. Cortisol is a stress hormone which controls sugars or glucose in the bloodstream, enhancing brain functions, repairs tissues, and controls potential fight or flight situations. Things that we can do to bring more light into our home. Install larger energy efficient Energy Star windows and doors, letting in more natural light as much as we possibly can. Add mirrors and shiny objects. Choose brighter interior colors. Try glass blocks for wall dividers to let more light travel within the home. Clean windows and paint trims white. Use lighter window treatments. And if possible, add skylights and things to our homes. So I think for the first part of this workshop today, maybe we'll stop here. And if anybody has any questions or anything like that, that they would like to ask, or if you would like me to go over some other parts of this workshop, this would be a perfect time that please feel free to go ahead and ask me. Mute yourself, or you can put it in the chat, or have one of the translators maybe ask the question.
Thank you so much, Lauren. Audience, the floor is yours to ask questions. Thank you.
Is there anything that anybody would like me to repeat? Any parts, any sections?
I think I have a question.
Yep, go ahead.
Um, I don't really know about the audience, but I think there are a lot of people who are renting other
Right.
than having their own properties.
Right.
Now, to my observation, I think landlords spend so much time on Facebook markets to get secondhand kind of things to fix their houses.
Right.
And some of these products are way years ago, 10 years or 8 years, which eventually affects the potency or how that particular product is meant to be working.
Right.
And I think wisdom will also let us know that it will eventually affect the tenant, because the landlord is not going to live in the house, it's the tenant that's going to live in the house. And because that is a second-hand, old-fashioned or functioning product, it might not work as it should. Thereby, it's going to cost a lot, and it will be to the detriment of the tenant. I just want to know, I'm new in Canada, and I just want to know, is there any group or organization that advocates for tenants in case a tenant sees something like this in their homes and the landlord is not adhering to, suggestions?
Right. So perfect example, what you're talking about is, let's say the homeowner or the renter is living in a home and they may be experiencing some of these issues
Exactly.
where they might have some excess moisture, or some of the appliances are older and of course costing them more money and electricity, things like that. Now, I don't know right off the top of my head, I don't know exactly. There should be a rentals place that we could talk to. Another place, something that was in my presentation that was kind of on the next one, but I'm just going to just ignore me for a second here. I'm going to go through and I'm just going to pull up a website for you that you can see that some of your participants may be able to go to and be able to get some assistance in some of the items that you're talking about. And it was for the next presentation, but I'll just go forward really quickly here and I'll just bring it up. Or here, I got a better idea. What I'll do is I'll just do this for a second. Just bear with me. If you were to go to your website and you were to type in save energy and B, right? They have what's called the NB Power Energy Programs, right? So if you were to click on that, and then if you were to go to this section here that says for homes, there's a section, and it's kind of tricky to get to here with your mouse. There's one that's called Renter Energy Saving Kit Program. And if you were to open this up, there is some information for renters that they can ask questions, things like that. And as well, they can order this kit for free, okay?
Yeah.
So you can order this kit, and when it comes, there are some different things that will come in this kit. And here are some things here. So each kit will contain the following easy to install products, right? So LED light bulbs, LED night light, and an electric power bar, faucet aerators to help reduce some of your water usage. A water efficient or low flow shower head,
Okay.
and then installation guides for all of these products and things like that are all there. There's also some do-it-yourself installation videos that they can watch on how to install these products to the home. Some things on how it talks about, phantom loads and power bars, and how to install the faucet aerators.
Yeah.
Things like that. All right.
That's
And
okay.
oh, go ahead.
I said that was great. It's good to know.
Right. And I will also come back to this again when we do our second workshop. But I just want to show you that if you wanted to, they can also, inside here, there are places where you can ask questions, learn more things. You might also have some of your participants maybe looking to eventually buy their own home. Hopefully that would be the plan for everyone eventually, to have their own homes. And these are all things that can help you to be able to get some incentive money for appliances, things like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
And that's at, you just type in Save Energy NB. It's right there. Save Energy NB, and this information will all come up. Okay. So there's also education and tips. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky to use, but saving energy checklists, any efficiency, how to do videos, energy efficiency articles, many of the things that, that I would be talking about, educational tips on air sealing, articles, things like that. So there's a lot of really good information. There's also events and training and different courses that you might be able to take to help you make your homes, or whether you rent, to be more efficient that way. Right. Now I will look for you and see if there's a place, specifically for rentals that you can look to help to be able to, if you have things that you were talking about, your participants may be experiencing issues. They should bring them forward to you, and then that way we can see if we can try to assist or find help for them.
Thank you.
No problem. Any other other questions that anybody may have from the workshop? Because I can go back over anything that anybody would like to have more information on or to discuss in more detail. I am totally at your...
Hello, Harry,
Yep.
Larry. I have one question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are there some incentives for shift to use energy for evening or morning? For example, does energy get cheaper in the morning than another time?
Right, that is a great question. Unfortunately, in the province of New Brunswick, we still don't have what they call time of use yet. But I think that maybe in the future, we may see this. But for the other participants, what this gentleman is talking about is that in other provinces, in some areas, if you use electricity off these peak times, there's sometimes a reduction in the cost. Or if you do your laundry at night, or things like that, cooking at night, or charging up your car or batteries at nighttime, sometimes they have a reduced rate, but unfortunately, New Brunswick, we do not have a time of use reduction yet.
Thank you. I have another question. Is about the energy monitor.
Okay.
Who can install this? Can I install this in my home?
What I would do is when you go in, and like if you were to go to a local hardware store and find a store that sells these products, talk to somebody, the salesperson, and ask them what all they can do for you, so that you end up purchasing the right system for your home. And then typically, in most cases, they can be installed by yourself. But if it has to hook onto an electrical, your electrical box or something like that, then you could talk to your landlord, or an electrician could come and easily hook these systems up for you. They're actually designed to be very, what would I say, user friendly, right? And many of these systems can basically just be plugged into your appliance, and then an app is just then transferred to your phone, or you put the app on your phone. So a smart appliance like a refrigerator, let's say, may have an app attached to it so that you can monitor how much electricity this unit is using. Things like hot water tanks, things like that, can also have systems where it ties into your electrical panel, and then you'd be able to have an app maybe for your phone, or this type of system here. These energy manager systems, typically whoever you're purchasing them from may have employees that could come out and install them for you. Right? As
Okay.
a homeowner or renter, we should never install something that we may be able to hurt ourselves or cause damage to our home. It's always good to have a professional come and do it for you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Right? Any other questions or anything that anybody would like me to go over?
Hi, I have a question for you. I like the ideas of have a natural light in our home. I'm a homeowner.
Okay.
But, would that be against to energy leaking, or there are some good products that actually can prevent that against each other? And my second question is, do we currently have some incentive kind of program from MP Power that like years ago I installed a air exchanger that we went through the program, and we saved a lot of money. I'm just wondering whether there's anything like that currently that the MP Power offered. Thank you.
Yes. All right. So I believe the first question, when we're talking about natural lighting into the home, let me just get there really quickly here. Natural lighting, of course, being able to find the right type of light bulbs, things like that. it is part of my second workshop, part of the second part of the workshop. But here it is here, artificial lighting in health. So going to, you know what I mean, the products that you could get from the rental kits from NB Power will have some explanations about different types of lighting and things like that. So when we talk about how bright a light is, or whether or not a light can provide everything that we need for our bodies, like simulate sunlight, let's say, there are different types of light bulbs out there. If you talk to somebody from a local hardware store, they should be able to help you with what lighting systems would work best for you, right? Now, the second part was the lady had talked about they had installed in their home that HRV or ERV, which was this one, to help maintain fresh air in their homes. The kind of the tie onto this question she was saying was that if I was to go to NB Power, was there any incentive programs that were there for things, incentives for things for your home? So under that Save Energy NB, if you go and you were to type in for home, just click on the for home, comes up. You can see we have an enhanced energy savings program. Down here, it's kind of tricky, enhanced. This is for families that make a lower amount of money. I don't know what the threshold might be. So there is things there that can help them with energy efficient products for their home. There's also for what's called a total home energy savings program, is for homeowners that own their own homes, right? So they'd be able to get insulation, windows, doors, heating systems, things like that. If you're looking at building a new home, there are incentives. And when I'm talking about incentives, this is where you can get money to help for buying or purchasing these products. Okay? Does this help you?
Yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Any other questions that anybody would like to ask or anything like that?
My question is, how difference does it make? I have my computer on 24/7 because sometimes when I travel, I'll have to remote into it and do some work and things like that. So it goes on hibernation or sleeping mode. So
Right.
my question is, a computer being in a sleeping mode and turning it off totally, how difference does it make in saving energy?
All right. So when we look at all these different products that we own, so that computer, of course, by leaving it on, is continually using some energy. When it goes into the sleeping mode, it's still using a little tiny bit of energy, but not as much. Okay, it's doing some other functions kind of behind the scene. But if we look at our computers, the laptop or the nice notebooks that we have, they use a lot less energy than the older, big tower type computers. So if you have the older type computers and you want to save some energy, you could look at going to the laptops. But if we look at how much energy, it may not be a lot, but if we think about everybody in our community, if we all had laptops on, if we look at the province, of everybody leaving their laptops on. If we look at all of Canada, of everybody leaving their laptops on, and then if we look at the world of everybody that can be fortunate enough to own and leave our laptops on, you can see that it's now using a lot of electricity. And in order to produce electricity, it also contributes to greenhouse gas and all these different things. Because not all the grids are all green. Many grids still are producing electricity from coal, natural gas, and oil, things like that. So it's not only computers, but things like microwaves that have the little lights in them. Any product that may have a light that stays on or uses electricity in the background without us knowing it when we're not using it should be put onto a power bar that can be turned off when we're not using them. All right, so did that sort of answer your question?
Yes, it does. It does actually. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And it brings back to my mind that, okay, so then what happens to workplaces? Because obviously few people turn their computers off. And you made this analysis that should everyone in New Brunswick owning a laptop and having it on, and Canada in general, it brings back to me that, okay, companies and institutions that we have, they have computers. I don't think everyone turns their computer off. So
Right.
Is it something that will be advised that everyone should shut their computer off when they finish work? Yeah, so that's another thing that came on my mind and I want to know.
Yes. And I think where we're at in looking at energy efficiency and looking at greenhouse gas emissions and plans for the future, how we're as humans going to try to reduce our carbon footprints or reduce the amount of
Hi, how are you?
greenhouse gas emissions. This is going to become more and more important, and we're going to learn more and more as we go. We don't know everything yet, and we're all still learning.
Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions or anything like that?
Well. Just want to know if there's any question before we draw the curtain down.
Right.
Great.
And now the second part of this workshop, I'm also going to be then looking at, some other things with respect to what I was looking at here. So right here. The next workshop that we're going to be looking at, I'm going to be talking about, where was I? I can't find it now. But just all these other different things, we're going to be looking at different parts of, there it is right there, okay? So in the next workshop, when we start to look, we're going to be exploring some of these other things that we're talking about. So using more natural light, what artificial lighting is energy efficient, some home electronics and phantom use, ditching the old desktop computer, looking at where to find energy efficient appliances, then as well, leaving the home, what should I be doing to conserve energy while I'm away? And when is it a good time to recycle or to, purchase new products and get rid of my older products? So these are some of the things we'll look at in the next workshop. And as well, we can revisit a few other things that we talked about today.
Awesome. Great. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much, Lauren, for taking your time to educate us on this energy session. And thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Audience, thank you, our technical team, our interpreters. I say a big thank you to you. Without you, it won't be possible for our audience to understand all these that we are going to be discussed. And the final thought is, saving energy today will make tomorrow bright. And on this note, we bring our curtain down for today's session and hope to see you in the next session in the part 2. And I hope that everyone will be available to listen to the part 2, which is well-packed education. And I say, have a lovely day, everyone, and stay safe. Thank you, and bye-bye for now.
Right.
Thank you.